It is Tuesday, the 8th of February, 2022, and I'm apparently obsessed with fish. I'm Michelle, this is my romantic tangle, and I have been stitching a lot. Then things happened and I haven't been stitching at all, but I have things to show you. After my last Flosstube update, I told you I was going to go stitch on the blue jays. And I did. But then I put them down and I picked up this fish and I didn't put down the fish again until I ran out of stitching time. This is Carps. It is a reeless kit. Last time I showed it to you, I was holding it sideways, but it's a top-down view of fish, so who's to say what's up and down? And now that the fish has a face and eyes, I can show it to you oriented the right direction. I love this. The colors and the text, I know they're X's. They're the same thread and everything that I have used a bunch of times, but the texture on this one is really, really appealing to me. And I am having a blast. And if you want to see, that is what it's going to look like. I love it. It is my happy thing right now. I've got a lot of happy things right now, and nothing but happy things in this video. Because I didn't do anything stupid this week. I didn't lose any laundry or plug in the coffee maker instead of the crock pot. And now that I've said that, I'm going to jinx myself and do something really stupid. I did start on the blue of the Blue Jays and got a bunch of his tail done. And that's one evening of blue stitching. And then I picked up the fish and stitched fish. I love the Blue Jays. Right now I am playing favorites and love the fish. And that is okay. Reolus is doing a race, which looks like the most fun thing ever. It's kind of a stitch along, but instead of prizes going to everybody, the prizes are going to, I think, the first 6 people who finish their entire piece, and there's a minimum set of dimensions. I wanted to play. My first instinct was to grab a kit and play because I've had a kit set out for watching for the next Reolus stitch along, because that was going to give me an excuse to start another Reolus kit. But then, well, I started 3 brand new Reolus kits, and I have convinced myself that I will just watch everybody else stitch, and I will enjoy that. And I will see how fast I can make project progress on my fish, and I'll play next time, because I can only do so many things at once. I also started Winter Saltbox, and there are snowflakes. I imagine that if I cannot see the snowflakes while I am staring at this, that you cannot see the snowflakes on the camera. Oh, there. I'm going to restart it with a different fabric that will give me greater contrast. I'm a little peeved that I cut this off of a big piece of fabric, but I also have like a dozen more of these Saltbox houses I want to stitch, and I can totally frog this and use the fabric for that. And I'd be more peeved about that, except I'm stitching on my fish and my birds, and that got put on the back burner, which is fine. We have back burners for a reason. My daughter and I went thrifting yesterday for her belated birthday. COVID got in the way of our first attempt. I have never had such a dismal day at the Portland Goodwill bins. I don't know what was up. The volume of stuff in the store was like half of what there typically would have been. But I did find a treasure. Lying there on top of a bin. I saw this out of the corner of my eye as I walked by, and that happens a lot. A color of fabric or the weave of a sweater will catch your eye. That happens all the time. But this happened. Last summer, my mom found a copy of this at the thrift store in the free box and messaged me asking if she should get it. And I told her yes, yes, yes. And then she looked at it harder, and she didn't get it for me. She got it for herself. Hers has been living at my house for 6 months. I got my own. They overcharged me because instead of charging me for it as a book. They charged me for it by weight because it's not a book, and he did some damage opening it up to see that it wasn't a book. But I don't care. I have it. I am so... And I haven't gone through to make sure that it is complete, but it appears to have the samplers, and I want to make a lot of things in here, but the samplers are what I need. So I maybe paid $4 for it, but then my daughter bought a scratching post for her cat that cost considerably less than we expected. So whatever I paid for it, it worked out. I'm going to start keeping track of how many of these I stumble across, because I found the companion book for 15 cents. A month later, my mom and I found another copy of the companion book for 50 cents. And my mom was going to get it to go with her box of patterns, except then there was something else she was looking at, and we walked out of the thrift store without it. And that thrift store is like 3 hours from home, so I maybe want another copy of the book, or I'm maybe going to give my mom my own copy of the book. I don't know. The patterns are better than the book. And then there was the other thing I found. And again, this jumped out at me. If you remember, I don't know, 2 summers ago, I was thinking of taking my grandma's silverware box and taking out the flatware that she bought with green stamps and repurposing the box for storing needlework stuff. And it was kind of nobody in the family objected to my doing that. Nobody was ever going to use the silverware, but it was Grandma's, and Grandma, if she'd still been alive, would have given me her blessing. And while I was deciding what to do, I went to an estate sale and I found a prettier box for $2. And yeah, taking a box that doesn't have any more silverware anymore, that is dirt cheap, made way more sense than using Grandma's, because Grandma's is holding the silverware. And then my daughter decided she wanted it back, and now it's at her house holding silverware or something. I don't know. Grandma gave it to my daughter. It was hers fair and square. She didn't want it anymore. I took it home like mothers do with family stuff, because maybe one of her brothers would want it, and then I thought about repurposing it, and it doesn't matter because I have another box, and neither of those boxes now matter, because it is another silverware box. And it was sitting on the shelf at Red, White, and Blue. And someone had posted that they took one of the 2-drawer silverware boxes, like the one I have, and repurposed it to hold bobbins. And if I remember right, the 2-drawer box was enough to hold a complete set of DMC. I ripped all of the lining out of mine, meant to recover the inside and put in my DMC bobbins, but I haven't gotten there yet. This one has 4 drawers. If 2 drawers will hold a complete set of DMC. 4 drawers will hold a complete set of DMC with spares and room for something else. It was $10. I'm standing there in the thrift store. I don't have a tape measure. I can't remember what the dimensions of a floss bobbin are. And these drawers, they're shallow. But are they enough for a floss bobbin? I don't know what size a floss bobbin is. Am I the only one who cannot keep in her head while she's thrifting that she has a smartphone and can look these things up? So I looked up a floss bobbin, and the narrow measurement is like 1 1/8 inches. Then I went, okay, a dollar bill is a standard measurement. I can look that up, and maybe I can fold it in half. And if you fold a dollar bill in half lengthwise, that's 1.3 inches, according to the internet. So I am in the thrift store trying to puzzle out the difference between 1 1/8 and 1.3. And my mind was having a great deal of trouble with that math. But with the help of my daughter, I figured it out. At that point, I was buying the box anyway. So it came home with me. I am going to take out all of this lining, because if it's like my other box, it is some kind of stuff that is meant to keep silver from tarnishing, and I'm also going to get this drawer back in here. I don't know what may be in the fabric itself or what may have leached into the fabric. Assuming somebody stored silverware in this at some point. So I'm just going to pull everything out, since I also need to pull out the little silverware grid holders. And I'm going to put something in it that I know is safe for my floss, and I'm not doing that tonight. I got other things to do. There has been a whole lot of hurry up and wait in my life the past 2 weeks, and tonight I am in hurry up mode. But I wanted to do a Flosstube update. I wanted to show you my fish and my box and my pattern set. And now I'm going to go get a bunch more stuff done so I can make more time for stitching. Thanks for watching. I'm Michelle. This is my romantic tangle, and I've got more videos coming for you soon.